So that white SR was £1,400, but the fees were 244. Ouch. Taking it up to £1,653. So by the time I've had the car delivered, delivery is expensive to me because I'm in the middle of nowhere. That will be about £1,800. So I've got to hope there's nothing wrong with it, because it's a white one with. I went for white because I know white's popular at the moment. It's got a long MOT until I've used my dirty finger, I'll use this. It's got long MOT. It did come with an essential check on it, but that means bugger all because that red one had an essential check on it and the clutch has gone on it, isn't it? Doesn't seem to have a lot of paperwork on it, so I'm going to have to get a logbook, which is 25 quid, but sometimes those do turn up afterwards. Oh, it's actually 2011. Ooh, actually that helps. I can list it as 2011 now. That's going to help. Although the mileage is 108,000 miles, but I think those Toyotas tend to be reliable little motors. Yeah, so the logic behind this is I know I've got loads of work on the moment. I haven't got the KA ready, I haven't got the Alto ready, I haven't got the other Yaris ready, still haven't finished the silver Yaris yet. Is that people are buying at the moment and I haven't got stuff ready. So if I can get cars that have got a long MOT on them already, this was I also looked for a category 3 on the bodywork as well, so it should turn up looking tidy, and white is an easy one to match. So again, I'll have to let you know what actually turns up. As you know from previous videos, could we go for 3 for 3 on clutches on Yarises? Yeah, let's see. So the white Yaris is in. Driven it around the block, drives fine, so clutch is okay, so happy with that. 108,000 miles. It didn't say it came with any history, but it actually, the folder's in the car and it's got a full service history up to 2 years ago, so it's only missed 2 services. So I'll do one before it goes out, so it's going to be a near full service history. It's got all the books on it. The only things marks wise, you've got a bit of scuffing there. The back bumpers are all good, the corners are all good. So nothing, condition wise inside is great. Little couple of scrapes down here, I haven't polished that out yet, I'm going to let that polish out. So I think the biggest thing that was marked down for was some big scrapes down the side, big key down the side. Now I've taken a random white paint and I've filled that scratch in many times over, and I'm going to leave that over the weekend, and then I'm going to use a rubber block with sandpaper and flat that back. I've done that before with a level of success, and it'll certainly look a lot better than the scrape. But other than that, she's super clean. She's got good tyres on her, it's good condition inside. Like I say, good history with her, all the books. So I'm never going to make a fortune on it, but it is going to be a simple one. Shouldn't have too much work to do on it, touch wood. So that's all good. The silver Yaris is outside. I've got to flat the paint back. Didn't get around to it today. I'm not 100% happy with this door. I haven't flatted it back yet, so I don't know how much it might blend in, but the silver, I mean on the camera it looks even worse. The silver is quite a way off. Yeah, it looks bad. That might end up getting redone again. It looks bad on camera, that'll photograph bad. I mean up close it doesn't look bad. It blends in quite well, but it might be that I have to do another go on that. I'm not very happy with it. But it is rattle cans and it is metallic, which is a tough game to do when you're doing parts of panels, and obviously the car is only going to be a couple of grand. The rear one is fine, you can't really see that at all. So I don't know what I did differently between the two, whether I've got some like reaction or something, but something's going on here. I'm not quite sure what it is. It's almost where the fade out thinner was. It's not very happy. So yeah, I think that'll be coming in possibly for another go. Seems to be alright at the top half. Mind you, my grain gets a bit bigger on here. I hate paint. You're going to fiddling with it for ages to try and get it right. I'm trying to put paint on a flipping car that's been sitting around for 11 years fading. I'm trying to match it on part of a panel. It's never going to go well. But I'll leave it. I'll file it back and take another look at it. Bung some wheel trims from Halfords on it. They're only 20 quid wheel trims, but they actually look quite good from a distance. They look a bit more like an alloy, like the original ones on the Yaris, so that looks good. But I think the rest of her, she's going to tidy up well, but I'm just going to get round to doing it. So leave it over the weekend, flat the paint back when I come, see how we get on with that. And in other news, PT is getting on with the other Yaris. I came in the cappuccino today, but the battery went flat when I came in, so I've got that on charge. Yeah, so PD's over there, just putting the last couple of bits on the other Yaris. Let's put the new clutch in, so that should be ready. So Monday, I'm going to be a very busy boy, because on Monday I need to get that silver Yaris ready. I need to get the red Yaris ready, and I need to get the white Yaris ready, because I want them all for sale by the end of Monday. So there's plenty of time to build up to the last weekend of the month. Look at that door again, it's bothering me. It does my nut in, that does. Anyway, forget about it. You've got to forget it. Paint is so annoying, you go back to it over and go. So yeah, I want all of the 3 of them for sale by Monday, and then I can get cracking on the Alto next, because that should be relatively simple, and then on to the bigger thing with the KA. But once I get a silver Yaris up for sale, that's the last of the 9-car flip. If you haven't seen that video yet, go back and have a look at the 9-car flip video I started, where I bought the most cars I've ever bought in one go on BCA, 9 cars, and I've been working my way through them, and that one's the one that I've been sitting on for ages because it needed a clutch and I just didn't get around to doing it. So that's for one of the last ones. So the only bit of bodywork on this Yaris was a big scratch in the door here, and what I've done is I've picked up a random white I've got, and I've gone over it with a brush 3 or 4 times and really built up the paint in it. So now what I'm going to do is use this scraper to level the paint off a bit before I flat and polish it, and we should be able to basically make this a lot less visible. See how this is shaving the paint off a bit. I'll probably have to go back over it again, but this will work for a first go. So now we're going to go over with some 400 grit on a rubber block. Make sure we keep nice and flat, and just work the edge of the scratch there. Just very gently. And you can see there it's starting to actually, there where it's sitting high, you can see there it's starting to blend in. So we'll do this all the way along, just very gently. I won't try and get it completely flat with this 400. I will come back over with some 800 and then 1200. So we're just going to try and get the edge basically level for a second. So now we're moving on to 800 grit on the rubber block, but we're going to wet sand it now, so it doesn't clog up quite as much. Obviously the rubber block is important because it prevents you using your finger and putting pressure in the wrong area on it, and burning through where you shouldn't really. So we're going to use that and very lightly build that up and see how we get on. Unfortunately the battery's run out on my GoPro, so I've had to jump to my phone a second, but we've now done 800 and 1200, and you can see it's already getting to a point where it's nowhere near as visible. So now what we're going to do is get the polisher on it. There's a couple of tiny little spots that I need to touch in that the paint got pulled out of, but overall it's going to look 10 times better. So there we have it. A massive key scratch is hugely reduced. In fact, unless you go looking for it, you can't really see it. And luckily the rest of the car is in fantastic nick all round. So now all we need to do is give it a really good clean, and we get her up for sale. It's very clean inside. I don't actually have a lot to do in here, so I'll run the hoover around, give it a wipe over with the shiny plastic stuff, and then get onto the outside. So here's the Yaris, guys. This is one of the rare ones. I'm going to say this is one of the rare ones where I've probably only got 2 hours in this cleaning it, because it came as one of the cleanest cars I've had of any age. I was super lucky with this buy. I was super lucky with this buy. This car has come in really clean. It's done 108,000 miles, which is at the higher end of what I'd like to do use, but these cars that get used properly I mean, this one's got near full service history on it. These cars that get used properly tend to be good little cars. It's actually, I find, the lowest mileage ones have lots of seized components and all sorts of stuff going on them. But this has been a real, just a case of give it a wash, and I've done a walk around video on it. I've done my photos, so it's now up for sale because it's got a really long MOT on it already. The only other thing I'm going to do is going to do a service on it before it goes out the door. On that, the only thing that came in was that big scratch down the door, wasn't it? So look, if you look now, you can't see it. And even I have to get close and then get down to find it again, and it's just there. And that was a horrible, great silver, obviously bare metal scratch all the way along there. And that was the only thing that was really holding the car back. But that took me, you know, no more than an hour, and that's including the drying time while I got on with other things. So I don't want you to think you can get scores like this at BCA all the time, guys. That would be unrealistic. You've seen the rest of my videos when you're in this lower end of the bracket, but every now and then you do get a win. This had no mechanical report on it. It could have easily turned up with a bad clutch or a smoking engine or any of those things. But I did check the last MOT on it and went through with no advisories whatsoever, other than there was a child seat in the way stopping them from checking the seatbelt. So you can check for those kind of things. Again, they're not a given. You can put a car for an MOT, and if it passes the emissions, it can still be smoking a bit and still pass the emissions. It could have a bad clutch and still pass the MOT. It might not get mentioned. So you really do need to be cautious. But every now and then you get one like this. This isn't a high profit car because it was good. It had the long MOT. It was in really good condition. It's not going to be a high profit margin one, but in terms of how much time I'm putting into it, I'm going to be 2 hours into it, and I should, after the VAT man and everything else, clear £500 out of it quite comfortably. Price wise, I'm going to say, I think Book has it about 2.5 grand. I think it's worth a bit more than that. I'm going to chance my arm at 2795 and see how I get on with it. 2795. I have listened to all my warranties. I'm going to send this out the door with a 1 month 1,000 mile warranty, and then give the customer the opportunity of paying for a longer warranty on it, under the understanding they know they have to contact warranty wise for any claims after that first 1,000 miles or 1 month. So right, now we're going to get onto the red one and get the red one done. I want all 3 cars ready today. That's the red Yaris all tied up, and we've done the walk around video on that one as well. This is one that we had to put the clutch into, isn't it? But other than that, she's clean and tidy. She's got an MOT till February next year, so I haven't really had to do anything to her. So she's up for sale as well. Now I'm going to ask 2795 for this one as well. I think the book says 26 for a 2009 SR. But again, I've just done £500 worth of work on it, so I think we're going to start off with a higher price on it. And we're going to get the silver one in. Oh, this thing gets me. It's not my work, but I couldn't do that work on them and then hand them back. They've been booked in for work. The work's been done. I couldn't hand them back like that. I'd have to give them a clean. Is that too much? Comment below. Would you expect to get it back clean? If you dropped it in, this one's had an alternator, I think. This one's had brakes. I'd personally have to give it clean. Anyway, gonna get the silver one in because I need to retackle that paint again. I'm still not quite happy with it on the door. I don't know why it worked on the rear quarter but didn't work on the door. But I'm gonna pull a late tonight, get this silver one finally done completely, so I can get this one photographed first thing tomorrow morning, because it'll probably be dark by the time I'm done, and then I'll have the 3 Yarises up for sale, and we'll see which one goes first. Comment below which do you think is going to go first. I'm going to ask 2195 for this. So this is a Cat N 2009 with about 90,000 miles on. Then we've got a 2009 non-Cat car with 90,000 miles on as SR, which I'm going to ask 2795 for. And then we've got the white one, haven't we, inside, that I'm going to ask 2794 for, which is 2011 with 108,000 miles on, which is pretty much same spec as the red one. So that one there. So comment below which one you think is going to go first, the silver one, the red one, or the white one, and I'll let you know as soon as I know. Well, it's all done and it's all ready for pickup. It's all been tested. Brought her in, given her another clean. I always give the cars a bit of a ceramic coating before they go out as well. I know it's probably a bit of overkill. Most people never notice the difference, but it's for me more than anything. I like my cars to be shiny. So all set for pickup tomorrow on the Bravo, and fingers crossed, being polite to the car, I hope I don't see it again other than for its next service, but I'll keep you updated.